Are you looking to change your body composition? Are you looking to improve your anaerobic performance? Are you looking to improve your glute development, your hamstring development? My modality of choice, bar none, by far, is most definitely sprinting. Check it out.
I remember back in the day when I was playing football, soccer, as you guys call it in North America, man, I used to have decent legs back then, even when I was a kid. And obviously when you get older, your quads and your thighs, your glutes, they do atrophy.
Usain Bolt, you're doing that anchor pose all wrong. Somebody needs to call you out. What is all that pointing about? Why are you pointing when you do that? An anchor pose, a true anchor pose, is when you keep everything in straight lines. The straighter the better.
Okay, so we're about to do some sprints here. We're in a little location where I live, and I've been looking at it for a while, got my eye on it for a while. We're going to start doing sprints. I really believe that sprinting, if you do sprinting in conjunction with your mobility, your stretching, hitting your legs, if you're over 40 that is, twice a week, over time, and with your stretching and your mobility, I truly believe that any man can build really good, athletic, fit, muscular legs when you wear those tights. Wouldn't you like to wear a pair of tights? Hey, I don't care if you do or don't, but let's look at some sprinting. Let's do it today.
One of the things that's quite common when you sprint, especially in the beginning, is pulled muscles potentially. So these are one of the tests that you get. And when most people pull an injury like a hamstring or they pull a quad like I did in the video, it can easily allow you to revert back to safety, meaning you'll go back to status quo. You'll go back to being what's comfortable to you. You know, the surface that you run on is pretty important. If you were to ask me what's better, grass or using a track, I would definitely say a track is better, far superior. But if you don't have that luxury, use grass by all means. I did want to talk about a little incident that happened on my last interval, and it happened right about here.
That last set, I was debating about doing one more round, and what happened? So I was going to do seven sprints with technically a 30-second to 40 seconds rest in between. So I did my last round, and yes, you guessed it, pulled a quad, the right below the hip flexor, so the rectus femoris. So I pulled that muscle right now as I'm talking to you.
You know what? I think the warm-up is just as important as the actual sprinting itself. Now, I'm really making sure I'm spending time doing a lot of knee flexion and hip flexion because of the injury that I had. So now I'm spending more time doing this particular one more than ever before. This one is a kind of modified sea walk, if you will. I'm in a neutral position. I'm not actually moving around, moving forward and moving backwards. Here's just a standard side shuffle, an old soccer exercise I used to do back in the day, and this is great just to warm up the calves and the glute max and the glute medial. Here is another good one. This one is called punter kicks. Great for hamstring recruitment, warming up the hamstrings, also warming up the hip flexors, and also warming up the transverse abdominis. Here we're going to be doing some butt kicks. Another old football move here, just warming up the hamstrings and calf muscles. A great exercise again, just to warm up those hamstrings that can get very, very tight easily, especially if you do long distance running. Okay, here we are doing some stability. As you know, I'm big on stability. I'm doing a downward dog while stretching out my calf muscles. So some of the things that you're looking to expect from a hypertrophy standpoint when doing sprinting on a consistent basis over time, I might add, is you're going to expect to see a reduction in body fat. That's number one. Number two, expect to see improved muscularity in your glute hamstring department, even in your quads as well. And also expect an improvement in your anaerobic capacity. Those three areas you're going to see massive improvements on. With a well-constructed training program dedicated with your sprinting program, so you got your hypertrophy workouts and your sprinting protocol with a well-constructed plan, I'm telling you, you're going to see over time, providing that your nutrition is sound, obviously, you're going to see some really phenomenal changes in body composition and improving your stubborn leg development. One of the primary objectives when you're looking at sprint work is fast twitch muscle fibers. And in order for somebody to improve upon their fast twitch muscle fibers, one of the biggest secrets that we all need to understand is adequate rest. We need to make sure if we're doing 2 days a week of sprint work in conjunction with our weight training, we need to make sure that our sprint work is preferably done in the beginning of the week, and then the second one is to be implemented towards the end of the week. So here is a bird's eye view of your training schedule based over 7 days. You're going to be doing 3 days of hypertrophy and 2 sprint days. The first sprint day, which is day number 2, you are going to be doing what I call 2 variations, 60 and 40 meters. Your intensity and your rest and exercises are there for you, and also your cool down. This is day 6. As you can see, very, very similar, except the intensity has been increased. Oh, almost forgot. Did you know that running on a treadmill is actually easier than running outdoors? For a variety of reasons, but the main reason is that the treadmill belt assists in leg turnover, making it easier to run faster on a treadmill. So my preference for you is to get outside and sprint. I would also encourage you not to leave any muscle unturned. What I mean by that is when you're sprinting, incorporate all the muscles. I think too many of us, when we are sprinting, we're so focused on our legs that we forget about using our arms, which is going to incorporate the lats and also incorporate the pectorals. Some important things to remember when sprinting is to lift your knees, keep your elbows at 90 degrees, run tall, and land efficiently by landing on the forefoot and push off from your toes. Make sure that you also drive with your arms, and the biggest one of all is to breathe. Breathe to the rhythm of your feet. Thank you so much for tuning in, and if you like what you see, don't forget, please hit the subscribe button and also leave a comment below and give me a thumbs up. I appreciate it so much. Take care.